I'm Sharnade George, a psychotherapist and founder of Culture Minds Therapy. My role is to take therapy outside of the office. 1 in 4 of us struggle with a mental health illness, and my job is to help you overcome and manage these issues. I have interviewed people internationally from the United States, Nigeria, as well as the UK. Some people, well, majority of people can be quite scared, particularly with what goes on in the world with institutionalized racism and not knowing who to trust, healthcare, police, because there are different ways that you can seek help for your mental health depending on the severity.
I'm very open, especially like on social media, like I'm very open with people about the kind of reality of life and how, you know, what you see online isn't actually how it is. So I'm open about that stuff, and I would like to be more open about mental health, but I think I'm just scared of the stigma around it, so I haven't really done so before.
I feel like within the Black and Asian community, we're not doing enough to understand about mental health, and more needs to be done to help educate us about mental health, and so we can educate the next generation to come, because with everything, education is key. We need to start getting more professionals within the schools. I feel like once we get more confident within that, then we will be able to speak about mental health on a general basis. I feel like a common question could be, how are you feeling? And when you ask
just
people,
like that, how are you feeling?
How are you feeling?
How are you feeling today?
Thank you. That must have been very difficult for you to go through, but I'm happy that you actually went to Antigua, because listening to you and your story about when you went to Antigua and how you felt really cleansed, just feeling a different kind of vibe being in Antigua, and with that helping you overcome, like you said, your trauma and the struggles that you were going through. So it seems like with this couple, growth is an issue. I feel like they may be on different pages and their growth may be on different pages. They've both said you don't like what you used to like, you like this now, and they're both kind of battling in relation to what the previous person used to like or used to do. And I feel like I hope that with therapy they can both get on the same page and both really understand each other and where they're going.
These times in relationships, you will not even know that you're dealing with it until like you're out of the situation, and then you think, wow, this person held me down. This
dark
person,
cloud.
But yeah, like it gets to a point even for some people where they're isolated from their friends, their family. Is there a difference between mental health in general and mental health in a relationship? And if so, how do you deal with that in your relationship? Because I'm asking that question because there's a lot of people who are, in isolated relationships. They're just with their partner, their boyfriend, their girlfriend. They haven't really got access to anyone else.
Especially now within lockdown.
Even like single parent kids that have grown up just on their own basically, and they're looking for family through their partner. How do they find, or how do they speak about, what they're going through in their mental health?
That's a good question, and everyone has mental health. But everyone can experience everyone has different lifestyles, so they'll experience different ranges of mental health. So there's depression, there's anxiety, social anxiety, for some people PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. So there's a range of different mental health disorders. In relationships, what is quite common, social anxiety, depression, anxiety, there's just a range of different things that people can struggle with in a relationship. Who can they go to? Again, I would just always point to your GP, because you need to go to someone who's professional, someone who knows what they're doing, because you can tell a friend, they may not be able to help you in the right way.
Thank you for sharing that, because on social media we see the good and the glamorous side of things, but then like you said, when you don't get a job, you're battling with your thoughts and you're kind of ruminating, why didn't I get that job? What's wrong with me? So when you are in those situations, how do you manage that?
Just tell myself, you didn't get it this time, but you may get it next time.
Listen, I think I've got something that could really help you.
Paxil, Lexapro, Xanax, Zoloft? I'll try anything.
Whoa,
That is so interesting, because when you are in therapy, many people conclude that, okay, I'm going to be prescribed medication, and if my therapist is going to provide a solution, it's going to be medication. Now, medication is not always the first point of solution for someone who is struggling with a mental health difficulty. Therapy can be offered, and that is dependent on the severity of your mental health difficulties. But in this video, it shows that the therapist has something different to offer Devi.